Chris Bowen is still overseas at COP30 in Belém in Brazil with the other politicians, bureaucrats and rent seekers. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago his latest gimmick is the great electricity giveaway. Here's a reminder.
It's called Solar Share, and what it means is that energy companies will be required to offer you, if you have a smart meter, 3 hours of free power in the middle of the day when we have so much solar energy in the system.
But at least one MP isn't buying Bowen's bunkum. Independent Di Lee wrote in the Telegraph today, families don't want symbolic freebies, they want real relief. They want lower bills, not tricks. The member for Fowler, Di Lee, joins me now from Western Sydney. Good to talk to you again, Di. Good on you for calling this out. I mean, there might be some consumers somewhere who get some benefit from it, but most people will miss out. And the energy retailers, we know, are going to pick up the costs somewhere else anyway.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. Great to be back again. Look, as we know, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And the practicality of those 3 free hours is just for those who actually who's working from home, who's got maybe a pool pump, who's got EVs, who've got batteries, who've got to stay home to charge, use those appliances. Now, for majority of working families in Southwest Sydney, in Fowler and in Western Sydney, they don't have that luxury to rush home to turn on, their air conditioning or whatever they need to turn on so that they can actually maximise the use of those 3 hours of free energy. But not only that, you need to actually have a smart meter. First of all, as you in the clip said, you have to have a smart meter to actually take advantage of these 3 free hours of energy. And that means there's going to be a cost. Sure, even if you have a free smart meter, you will still have to pay an ongoing cost on your energy bills. Now, of course, if there's 3 hours of free energy is available, the retailer, the price is going to be hiked up somewhere. So at the end of the day, the majority of people use energy after they pick up their kids from school, and is mainly in the evening. So how are those families going to be compensated, or how are they going to be able to manage their energy use? But the other critical issue here is for businesses. A lot of majority of businesses use energy, and so this is not an answer for them at all. So
doesn't help at all. Yeah.
It's to me, this is just a political spin. A virtue signaling. I just don't get it that we actually have a serious issue around the rising cost of energy, the bills, and yet the government is spending time having this kind of spin in terms of their policies around addressing the rising cost of energy and other things as well.
So just on energy, sorry to jump in there, but just on the same theme, right? These subsidised batteries that are going in, theoretically they're fine, but you've got to have had you have to have solar panels to start with. So you've spent $10,000 or more to put solar panels in. Then you've got to pay for the battery in the main yourself anyway. You might pay $10,000 and get $4,000 from the government. Now, how many working families can afford to do that? Aren't working families paying more tax so that rich people elsewhere can get the government subsidies for these batteries?
Oh, look, absolutely. Look, in terms of the home batteries, it's great that the government has done something, but it's going to be subsidised, and it's those who can afford. And I've said this, I can afford it, but majority of working families in Western Sydney cannot afford to get a battery or even solar panels in the first place. Now, this 3 free hour, if you think about it, will discourage, if you were to have solar panels in order to, take advantage of our solar energy, you will be discouraged if you were going to go down that path, thinking that the 3 free hours is what you need, and you don't go down that path. But there's a lot of, I think, holes in the way that, I'm not an energy expert, but there's a lot of holes in the way that the government is approaching the whole energy, conversation, and how to address it to bring energy prices down. And they're not going to bring it down. And we keep on seeing that energy prices goes up, and that in turn affect the cost of living, grocery prices, food prices, doing business has gone up, everything has gone up. And I think to have this gimmick of just 3 free hours of energy, they're not taking the seriousness of
You're right.
the affordability of families in Southwest and Western Sydney.
Spot on, Di Lee. It's a gimmick. It's not serious policy. Thanks so much for joining us, Di Lee.